I've been asked about by a couple people, so I thought I would bring it to council so that you would know this. Toward the end of last week, it was about 8 o'clock at night, a lady would walk over to Gaius Market, got some supplies, and then she was walking home on 3rd Ave, eastbound, and down past Civic, she got a person came behind her and hit her really hard, and she fell to the pavement, and then the contents of her purse were around the street. The person grabbed her wallet and some other things, and there's not much of a suspect description other than she did not see his face, but it was described as a average-sized white male with wearing a gray hoodie with blonde hair coming out from underneath. It's fun. That was, I think, some people should know about. The other one was Sunday morning, about 5 a.m. There was a high-speed crash up on Ellingson, and there was a car traveling westbound at a very high rate of speed, and we had a witness to this. So when he took the railroad tracks and went airborne, and then the car rolled end over end and smashed into a house in another block of Ellingson. So I've been asked about that. I thought I'd let you know about it. Are there any questions?
The car that rolled, were there injuries or?
That was one person, 19-year-old male, I think, was driving, and he was thrown from the car. He was injured, but not bad.
In the house?
Nobody was injured in the house.
Scary. Other questions from council? Thank you. Okay, next up, city councilor would like to speak on something that is not a committee. Councilmember Kay.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring to council's attention something I would like to send to Public Works Committee, but to make you aware of it. One of the line items in our budget is impact fees for fire, and we no longer collect impact fees on behalf of the RFA, but so they're left over from prior to becoming an RFA, and they need to be spent on improvements to something fire related. And I'd like to recommend that we use those funds to replace some of the older hydrants in town. I believe I got a count of 9 village hydrants. What a village hydrant is a hydrant with 2 of the small ports on it. It doesn't have the big fat port, which gives you the most water when you have a fire and need it. Now, sometimes those are put in a place where there's low water volume, and so we may not be able to replace them, but it looks like on the map that some of them are sandwiched between hydrants that do have a big steam port, and that would be a good use of those funds so that they don't just sit there. And, so I'd like to have Public Works take a look at that, find out exactly how many village hydrants we have and how many of them could be replaced with regular hydrants, and use those monies for that.
Okay. Any other councilmember Steiger?
To addressing the hydrant situation, we have some surplus hydrants from the south end here that has a large port that I believe they've already made arrangements to receive those, and we're going to be replacing some of those hydrants you're talking about, because they're perfectly good hydrants, but they're just going to be replaced with new ones. It's the development of the Stewart and Valentine, so those will be used in some of these. I don't know if there's enough of those or not, but we already made some headway toward addressing that situation. Another thing is, the gentleman that just spoke tonight made an accusation that a council member had been down soliciting contributions. I just wanted to clarify that. or one, I wasn't, I think we need to clarify all the council members that were any one of you down soliciting any funding from the businesses, the lot businesses on Stewart.
Not I.
I think we address that.
I appreciate the
accusation.
clarification, Councilmember Sykes.
We can't be having these false accusations being brought out.
Anything else? Okay, order to committee, finance. I'm sorry, Councilmember Stephanie.
For anyone who doesn't read the Auburn Reporter, I have officially announced that I am not going to be seeking this seat again in November, so if anyone is interested in serving on the council, now is a great time to start thinking about what you'd like to do and how you'd like to get yourself elected.
Thank you. Anything else? Finance committee.
We met last Thursday, we elected a new chair, the trend, and I'll let Trent go ahead and report.
It's kind of funny because I was reading the council rules, I can't be chair because I'm chair of the technology group, so we can discuss that next week. We can fight over that next week. I've heard that before. So we had a pretty short agenda. We had Laura Moser from Waste Management come and talk to some of the franchise agreement, the different options that the Solid Waste Committee's been looking at. She wanted to just kind of clarify some of the numbers. I know Richard had a lot of questions and she had a chance to kind of let you know those questions. So, Richard, do we have copies of those options for the council?
Yes, I have one with me, and I can hand it to you. Do you want me to make copies of it?
No, I can just email it out along with the notes if you want to see the more detailed notes. Richard also, he mentioned in his comments that he reviewed the year-end, 2014 year-end report that we'll be seeing at next week's workshop. So if I get that, committee had a chance to look at it first. And then reviewed, there's been kind of brief discussion around a transportation benefit district. So Richard's had a chance to speak to, was it Issaquah?
Oregon.
Oregon, that's right, that had implemented the transportation benefit district, so he'll be researching that and bringing more information to council coming in March. That was it for the finance committee.
Okay, questions? All right, governance committee.
We were in the process of scheduling a meeting, and I got sick, and so nobody came to the meeting, and nobody confirmed it, and unfortunately, Amy attended. But we're looking at scheduling another meeting, and tentatively, we're looking at March 5th, or 3rd, yeah. And at this meeting, I hope that we can set a consistent date every month, the third Wednesday, something to that effect. So we've got several things on park board, definitions, personnel, policies in our ordinances. My gosh.
That's a good start.
Yeah, there's a couple different things, so, as soon as I get confirmation, you're good on the 3rd, Mr. Amy, you're good on the 3rd, it's gonna be 3rd still, and, Jerry will be the 3rd.
At what time?
6:30.
Okay,
6:30.
March 3rd at 6:30. Perfect. Thank you.
Question?
Yes.
Two questions. So, governance committee, have we looked at having the council rules of procedure reviewed by governance? I thought that was on your list.
It might have been in it, that might have been the one.
Okay. And then, I know that the park board has brought up some concerns. I received an email about it, and I don't remember if it was referred to governance or not, but it's on next week's workshop agenda to decide if council wants to do something with it. So, just so you know, we'll be discussing it next week.
The residency requirements for boards and commissions?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's on our schedule.
Was that referred to committee, or was that just assumed? Because I don't remember that it was actually referred. So we're going to discuss it next Monday.
I thought when it was initially brought up, by the park board, that it did get referred to committee, that's how it got put on our agenda.
But we can take that off.
Was my understanding it was referred to committee. so that we could address it.
I think, okay.
Well,
Well,
we
it's on
have-
the agenda for next week for discussion,
So that'll be before this.
yeah, so we'll be.
So we
Yeah,
could
so we'll
remove
be
it
good.
too.
Or we can, if
Discuss it.
people want to discuss it in workshops, then we
Well,
can follow up with the details that come out of the workshop.
Yeah.
Personnel policies, council policies and procedures, and surveillance cameras.
Full agenda, good. Anything else? Human Services Committee.
Meeting tomorrow night at 6:30.
Okay. Public Safety Committee,
Meeting is on March 11th at 6:30.
what's that?
When?
March 11th,
March 11th,
Oh, okay.
6:30.
okay. Okay, Public Works Committee.
March 4th.
Okay. All right. Technology.
Technology committee met on last Thursday, whatever that was. And continued to talk about the portable audio visual. I know it's a priority for the mayor, so we put it on the back burner.
I know.
So we have one bid, and we've talked about the bid before from a company called Avadex. We're not required to go to bid. They have a contract with University of Washington, so we can piggyback on their contract. I won't say they're on the steep end, but it's a lot of money, so we want to go to bid and at least get a couple of the bids just to see if it's comparable, to see what we're going to get. So we'll be working with the City of Auburn IT department, or wherever our next IT department lands, to go to bid. We also talked about a destruction policy for technology type stuff. So hard drives, when the police department surpluses laptops, what happens to a hard drive? So based on what we've seen in the RCW and what we already have in the surplus policy, we think we're covered. But staff is going to continue to kind of work with Auburn on that. We've looked at potential social media policies as well, so the committee will review what Auburn's provided as well as what's included from, I think it was PwC that sent some stuff, and we'll discuss it in our next meeting. We also discussed the possibility of changing IT support providers based on the fact that Auburn's already cut 2 cities loose, they've given us 60-day notice, so we kind of looked at some additional options. I think we discussed it in council before, but maybe going with additional small cities, hiring one person, looking at creative ways to do that. And then a few council members continue to have problems with connectivity issues on their tablets, so we're continuing to work with Auburn IT to get those addressed. So our next committee meeting is on Thursday the 19th at 5 p.m. in Maryland.
Present? Okay. Park Board. I know, Amy, you were handed the notes from the Park Board.
This report was prepared by Gary Nitschke. Park Board held its meeting on February 18th at 6:30. All were present, and there were 3 staff. Mr. Gould, Lance Newkirk, Jack Dodge, and Paul Leach. Mr. Stacy Jackson announced that he had submitted his application to be on the Park Board. There was discussion regarding vacancies. Dwayne Gross spoke about Kate Holland's motion to forward a clarification request to the governance committee, and the motion passed. Richard Gould submitted a 2015 budget position and gave discussion. There was discussion regarding park equipment maintenance and repairs. Dwayne asked for specifics on job tasks, time cards, and the ability of the workers to capture time so the park's numbers will be better in 2015. The issue regarding time cards and capturing time will be worked on and should be getting better. Dwayne asked that the reports from staff be submitted a little earlier and not just before the meeting. He also wants this so the board can get a better plan and maybe a couple more people. Lance spoke on the immediate goals. For example, 7 to 10 days schedule and more efficient capturing of time. Don commented on capturing time spent on an each park basis, and Lance said capturing in cost of the concern is duly noted. He also discussed why some parks could have sewer garbage. Jack Dodge gave a report regarding the agreement on the Lane Morgan property, and Grant's basically giving us the status regarding those properties. He mentioned that there was a meeting on March 3rd, 2015 with the county and what needs to be done to retain funds. He spoke about a drain field. He also spoke about a letter of understanding and out. Dwayne asked about the Looney lot. Jack said those are out at this time. Jack stated that the 10-foot strip is in and is covered by the grant. Paula said the little lots can be purchased through some other grants, and Jack said that's not advised due to parking issues. There was discussion regarding the Earth Day event scheduled for April 25th at 9 a.m. Terry motioned to simply supply the facility for the event. The motion was adopted after discussion. Don motioned to recommend that the gulch on 3rd Avenue Southwest be named Pacific Gulch. The motion passed, and the Park Board adjourned its meeting at 8:11 p.m., and the next regular meeting is for March 17th at 6:30 p.m.
That if notes are submitted in writing, can we just get them in our packet, rather than reading them?
And I know tonight they were just submitted like as we walked in the door.
I asked her to read them for me, thank you.
So, anyway, but,
I mean, we get them the reports in writing, so
Gary.
we're not going to speak to them. Thank you.
You have one idea.
Planning Commission.
Personalize
Are you going to speak on Planning Commission? Here's County Regional Council. Okay, I reported on Sound Cities Association, South County Area Transportation Board.
Nothing to report.
Thank you very much. Valley Regional Fire Authority. Yeah.
Yeah, we met last week, and, had a meeting, it was uneventful for the most part. You know, I mean, generally speaking. I did bring up a couple issues. Issues I had with relationship to selection process of upgrades, and I met with Eric Robertson, the administrator, as well as the union president last Thursday, and we had a discussion on the procedure process that they go through the civil service, selection, evaluation, and then to the final 3 that are provided to the administration for their selection purposes. I understand their procedures and processes. I still have some issues in relationship to, you know, how they go about it and selecting people in relationship to a higher command position, to make sure that not only the fire department, but the citizens in general are well benefited by the selection. So, having said that, I did have the meeting, I did understand the, the process. And then that's all there is.
All right, moving on to the